Okay, let's start now. So yesterday we got to a point. Okay, why am I hearing myself? Uh, we got to a point where we have this here, a Solana bot 4 hours, 235%, 3.4 profit factor, only 55 trades, which is not great. While we were doing that, I decided to start up a not this one, to start up a daily optimization. So for example, we have this extremely high profit factor bot that we're going to now take. What does it have? Volume EMA, Keltner channel, which we don't have in the other one. Support resistance breakouts, RSI, EMA, support resistance breakouts, and ADX. Now, first of all, I wanna quickly share this to the Discord. There we go. Gotta be done. Can't type. Yep, there we go. So now what we're going to do, take profit 10 and stop loss 7, which is not bad. Uh, we are going to combine this with what we had yesterday here by going into the code and adding the condition. So for now we have a pretty standard name. We don't need to touch that for now. It doesn't matter too much. So here, as you can see, we have the first condition. This is all machine generated, by the way. If you were to code this, you would definitely not have these endings, but this is so that the machine can differentiate between different conditions. So let's get to actually implementing the new one. So now we go to the Pine script of generation 12. There we go. And then we'll look for the condition. Okay, so we can copy this starting condition, which is 0, and then 1 up to the final condition signals. Oops. There we go. So now that we have this, we can add it safely here. And we're gonna have a bit of a problem because this one from the server is by the way, let's see. Yeah, we're not progressing that much, so we can use that one. This is in version 4 of PineScript. So we need to uh convert a lot of these to version 5, which is the newest one. So all the exponential averages, everything that's built in, for example, simple moving average, TA dot, because TA is technical analysis. Um, great. Where else? Oh yeah, all the pivots, pivot low, pivot high, daily pivots. the value when something is equal to something else. This is just a warning, we can ignore that. RMA as well. Mat, that's a mat, max is a mat function. Minimum is a function as well. Change, I believe, is, yeah, technical analysis. Great. What else? EMA, that's technical analysis. All of these are, just do this. Beautiful. Okay, so we have one. That's actually a lot of work, but if we were to use it as a standalone, we could use the convert to V5 option and it will do it for us like we did yesterday. But right now, half of it is version 5, the other half is V4. So now we gotta do it on our own. Absolute value, that's a math equation. Math is also a math equation. Absolute is math. Okay, what else? What do you want? Absolute. There we go. Max is also there. I'm just gonna go through this quickly. And after this, we're going to start adding variables, which already you can see, for example, we have the pivot of the high value at 14 left bars and one right bar, but this 14 and this one can be further optimized inside. And here, for example, the exponential moving average of 54 candles, that can be also optimized inside, after the Python optimizer that we have on the server, which by the way, yeah, no change so far. I wouldn't use this. So right now we're looking, by the way, for a daily conditions, and we're gonna combine it with a 4-hour condition and see what's happening. A lot of these things are trial and error and optimization, and then going back and back and back, and just okay. Well, that seems to be the end of it. So now we have two conditions that we've added new, which is this one. This is the long one. We can add it to the final one. So the final one means either this or now this will trigger a long, and then this is the other one. Either this or this will trigger a short. We can see by the enumeration it is the same one. Now we have a second condition which should be right about here. No, condition, no. Yeah, that should be it. Did we not just add this one though? Condition 1. Oh yeah, we added condition 0, so this is it. Great. So now the final condition or the final signal will come from either of these four um, conditions, which in themselves have a lot of singular indicators. Let's save this. There we go. We have another problem. This is supposed to be the version 5. Uh, okay, we definitely increase the percentage, increase the trades by a lot. However, we decrease the profit factor. Now, what we're going to do is start adding inputs. So, for example, we have an average to range, and we're going to say that ATR length of the I just call it 1 for ease is equal to the input of default 20 with the title of ATR length. Um, what do we call it? Keltner channel. There we go, great. And now we can substitute this for this. And so every time we do an optimization and we change this value, we're going to change the actual calculation. There, we have a moving average length of the Keltner channel. So let me change this to Keltner channel as well, which again is equal to an input function, uh, moving average length Keltner channel. We're gonna, it's 134. We can substitute that here, and then the last thing we have for this one is a deviation or multiplier, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it a mult, which is 2.62 MA 0.62, sorry, MA mult Keltner channel. So now we can substitute this as well. Save it just to show you what I mean by further optimization. So now nothing's changed. We've set the same parameters. However, now we can, play around with these ones and see how we change, you know. Um, it doesn't seem to be changing much. Let me see actually. Where does this mile condition 1 long, 0 long? And it should be in the final conditions, right? It is. So it does change, but apparently not that much. Now, I hope, I wish I could skip forward and do this for every single one, but for now, we're gonna have to bear with me. And for the volume, we're gonna make it a length 1 input. It's 69, and the title is volume length 1, just for ease. Then we can substitute it, and then we have a mult. Let's actually just copy this. There we go. So now this is the mult, which is 5.16. And then we can go ahead and substitute that as well. So now we have even more option in the, sorry, We have even more options in the optimizer. Nothing's changed because it's the same values, but now we have volume length. So if we increase it to 77, or the mode, we can start increasing the percentage a bit. It's not changing too much, which is weird since all of this is part of the. Well, that's fine actually. Uh, because we're gonna have a much better understand. Where is this actually going to? EMA. So that's going to this condition. Great. Going to this condition, which then should be part of the final condition. Mm-hmm. So in theory, it should be changing. In practice, it's not. Maybe because it's not that big of a part. But let's keep going. So we did the Keltner channel, we did the volume. Was this support resistance breakouts? We have left, actually, let's copy paste this and call it left support resistance candles. One, I don't know if there's a second one, but just in case. And it is by default 13. Left SR candles 1. Great. Now we can substitute this here, here, and then we have right support resistance candles, which are in this case 3. And then we substitute them here as well. Beautiful. Now we have even more options to tweak. Let's move on. This is the condition 0 of, I believe, the 4-hour one. Or no, this is the one, the daily one. So the daily one might not have that much of an effect. That's why when we're optimizing it, it's okay. Sorry, I lost my thought there for a second. Um, Great. Now we're moving to RSI, and we have an RSI length, which is equal to the input of 12 in this case, with a title of RSI length. Let's call it 1 as well. Substitute that right in. We're not touching the default, textbook oversolved and overbought conditions, or well, values, because that will just mean we can over optimize it. Save it for now. So now, nothing much has changed, but we can increase. So see, now we're getting somewhere. Uh, by increasing the RSI, we're getting much better results. The length of the RSI. And the support resistance, I think, will give us the right candles. See, some things aren't that important, and then later on we'll cut them out because we don't need clutter. We don't need something to over optimize. So as you can see, this isn't doing much. So we can just cut it out in the end. But for now, we can just keep building. Let's reset the settings to default so that we know where we started from. Great. Let's move on. Was that exponential moving average? Here we only need one EMA length 1 equals to the inputs of 54 candles with the title of exponential moving average length 1, and then we substitute that here. Support resistance breakouts again. We can just actually copy paste this and just change the names. Oops. There we go. And also it's 14 here and 1 here. This is 2. This is 2 as well. So now we can go ahead, substitute this. The right candles as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now what's this ADX? Now ADX is sometimes a pain in the butt, but well, actually it's not. It only has a it only has a length. So ADX length 1. I don't remember if there's a second one, but just in case. Um, 82. Title of ADX length 1. And then we have a deviation, which is ADX dev 1, input of 6.23, and then a title of ADX deviation 1. Now we substitute again. No. Trying to go as fast as possible, but also not mess anything up. Great. Volume weighted moving average. For that, we need a volume weighted moving average length of 1 with a default value of 172 and a title VWMA length 1. Beautiful. Let's plop that right in. What else? Squeeze. There we go. So we have, first of all, simple moving average length for the Bollinger Bands. So this is one of the most BB SMA length. Input of 4. Title. Squeeze. Bollinger Bands SMA length 1. Substitute this. Great. Now we have a deviation for the Bollinger Bands. So a standard deviation, usually it's 2, but now it's, I mean, the optimizer is chosen 3.41. So let's go and substitute this. Deviation deviation. There you go, perfect. Now, we have the same for the Keltner channel, which is part of the squeeze indicator. So let's just copy these two. I don't know what just happened. Copy these two. Keltner channel, Keltner channel, Keltner channel. Great. The length is 152. So we can substitute that right in. And then the deviation is 3.21. Okay, so now we're done with this. Oh yeah, the momentum we also need to substitute the Keltner channel length. And that's it for the squeeze momentum. Great, nothing changed. Means we're doing it right. Let's see if we increase it. Not much is changing. This is changing. What about this? Well, we can have negative numbers mathematically. So you can see how we can start off kind of optimizing, increasing the profit factor a bit. We won't do that by hand because it will take a lifetime, but we can if you want to. Now, super trends. So now for the super trends, we have a factor and an ATR period. So let's do that real quick. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna copy paste these. So we have super trend factor 1, which is 6. So we can substitute that right here. We have two super trends. Okay, perfect. And then we have second one, sorry, which is 5.67. Substitute there. Now what do we have? This is the, oh yeah, the period. So ATR super trends period of the first one, which is 37. Just copy paste this. Super trends period, and that's number 1. And then we can do the same for number 2 as well, except it is 52. Great. Now, we already substituted those in. We need to substitute this in. 37, perfect. 52, perfect. Now we have a volume, very simple. We have a volume length and a volume deviation. Volume length 2 is the input of 133 defaults, title, volume length 2. Substitute that in there. And then we have vol mode 2, which is the input of 3.7 with a title of volume mode 2. Great. So, oops, substitute that as well. What do we have here? Simple moving average, very easy. We have SMA linked 1, input of 106 default with a title of SMA length 1. Do you actually have a SMA? Yeah, no, did we? No, this is the first one. Okay, perfect. Good, now we're done with this condition. So this condition is equal to all of these indicators combined. So all of them need to say yes, go long or yes, go short for it to work. We have another pivot. Well, support resistance, I call them pivots. So we can just go ahead and copy what we already have here so that we don't waste time. Where are you? There you go. Now this is going to be 3. Again, messed up. 3. And this time it's 7. And right is 1. Substitute that right there. There we go. Great. So what do we have? A super trend crossover. Again, 2 super trends. Let's copy paste this. And this is all going to be, well, it's 1, 1, and this is 2, 1, this is 1, 1, this is 2, 1. There's really a better, obviously, way of naming these, but for the sake of speed, I'm just doing it functionally, let's say that much. So we have 1.23 for the first one, 5.55 for the second one. We have 45 for the period and 56 for the second period. And now we substitute. As always, factors in and then the period as well. Oops. Great. Well, we're almost done. So, interesting. Now we have a normal volume, which is, again, I'm gonna copy paste from here so we don't waste time. Volume length 3, and then we'll 3, 3, 3, 3, which is 25 with a deviation of 2.93. Great. Now we have a normal super trend, so we only need these two, not the second one. 1, 2, 2, 2, with a factor of 2.51. What is this? factor. Moment. That's not. It should be period, shouldn't it? Yeah, the second one is period. My bad. 1 second. Let me increase the volume. Okay, now it should be better. Is the volume better now? Should be. Okay. Uh, where are we? Oh yeah. The period is 92 by default. So we can sub that. Great. Now we only have a couple of things more. 151, 92. Okay, perfect. We have a volume weighted moving average, which again, VWMA. We have a suggestion linked 1, however, it's linked 2 already. It is the input of a default 6 candles with a title of VWMA length 2. Substitute that there. Come on, we're always on RSI. There we go. RSI length 2 equals the input of 126 in this case, default title RSI, nope, length 2. Substitute this in here. We don't touch the oversold and overbought. Increase the volume, give up more a bit. There we go. Mm, by the looks of it, this is it. Oh, we don't need a second take profit at all. There is an option, but not for this bot. Great. So we've substituted everything with parameters that we can actually optimize, much like the daily bot. We have a commission in, and now we can, first of all, oops, not publish yet. We can say this is a, let's just call it a Solana daily for our strategy, or just daily, or just 4 hour. I don't know. Let's call it 4 hour. Uh, doesn't really matter. I just wanted to have a better name. Now, here comes the fun part. We can open it in Chrome. Oops. We can open it in Chrome. You can see it here. And then we can start optimizing it by looking for the 1.8 profit factor. we're increasing the value of the net profit in percent, but we're also looking for a better profit factor. And now we have to set up all of this. So basically, the volume, I'm not going to touch too much of it. I'm just going to make sure that everything that's not a integer or, a solid number is included. This should be one. There's a whole science behind optimizing this, but right now I just want to get to some uh good results. And then afterwards we can start. So these are the boundaries, as you can see. From and to means I start trying to find better results from volume length 34 till volume length 138. And if I don't, I don't. But if I do, I keep them and then I move on. So this is between 69. So this is basically half of 69 and then double 69, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to touch the boundaries too much because they are, centered around the middle. And this is generally what we want for the beginning because we've already gone through this optimization, by the way. It's still going. Uh, we'll see if we have something interesting there. Um, the take profit and stop loss, usually I don't optimize immediately, so let's just leave it for here for now. This should be 0.1, this should be 0.1. Okay, now we can start. So immediately you're going to see the improvement because what we've done is we've optimized it, made it actually, not optimized it. We've created this combination of indicators from our software on our server, and then we've kind of pieced it together to make one bot. And now this one bot needs to be obviously optimized together so that it fits and it doesn't, make mistakes all the time. Um, Already up to 390. And what's important is after we get up to 400 and so percent, we'll increase the limit for the profit factor. By the way, this optimizer, you can find it in the Discord. You can find it in many places. Uh, some people say they have problems with it. I've never had problems with it. It does the work for you without you having to manually optimize. So now already we have 104% and 1.93 profit factor, which is much better than what we had before. So let's restart it, looking for something bigger than 1.93. And then we can do the opposite in a bit. If we go to, for example, 500%, which is not far-fetched, then even 400%, we can start saying, okay, well, we can give away 50%, we can sacrifice 50%, but we want a higher profit factor. We want, less losses, even though there's less profitability. We don't want to lose that much, even though we win more. So once we get to that point, we can start optimizing for profit factor instead and make it much more smoother. So really, at this point, what we have to do is let this run for a while. So see now, for example, it reached 448%, but the profit factor was lower, so it skipped that. It didn't accept that because we're looking for something much better. See, now it accepted something much better, and it's going to keep doing that for a while, even though it's doing it fast. I think this is where I'll pause the stream, and then later in the afternoon, or my afternoon, I'll come back, see what we got, and hopefully publish it and give it away to the Discord. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, really just hit me up in the Discord and private chat. I'm open all day, every day. And talk to you later.